All right, cool. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Thinking Out
Thinking Out
Loud.
Loud. It's number 24.
No,
25.
25.
Yes.
You fucking nimwit.
Sorry, we're recording later in the day than normal,
Yeah.
so we should have more energy, right? God, it's so loud with
Yeah,
this on.
I think so. Yeah, I think we have a pretty good amount of energy. I mean, it's October. Everybody is in the mood for Halloween. You know we're
what?
layering
it's cold.
up.
It's chilly now.
It's
Yeah,
chilly.
I can finally put a fucking crew neck sweater
Dude,
on.
like, I don't even have titties, but the other day my shit seeped through my shirt.
Like, you
and I
cut
was
holes in your
whoa.
shirt? Oof.
Yeah, I mean, that's the new wave, right? Being the alt boy who
Being the
cuts
alt boy, the
fucking-
e-boy online.
The e-boy, you got
I don't know about
the
that.
cut shirts too. Men are bringing back crop tops. Have you seen that?
Crop tops?
Crop tops. Yeah.
But you're the type of dude to wear a romper.
I am the type of dude to wear a romper. Yeah, I will excel
Weird.
in these next couple of years because I wouldn't say like, nah, see, that's too cocky. I'm not going to say I'm like the elite level of the alt boy or whatever, but I've kind of always been an alt boy all my life, essentially. If you set off my fucking fire alarm, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I smoke in here all the time. Don't I?
I'm just telling you now.
What the fuck? Oh, dude, look, it's so sucky. Like, the other day we were recording,
Right.
and I accidentally set it off with my vape. I don't know how or like what happened, but
The irony of that is that the episode was already done, so they'll
Cool.
never hear it. You know what I mean?
true. Well, no, it's not even that. It's just that like I was kind of like I was shocked to see how sensitive it was.
Right.
I didn't mean to set it off. I was just telling Nick how nice of a place he has because we normally don't record on his couch, but he's a really nice place. And
Yeah, I mean, when
said-
your mother gives you a bunch of furniture and just says put it together, you kind of just put it together. I really have no direction as far as this is going. It's like semi-frat and then like semi-put together
you have to
apartment.
understand, dude,
It's pretty funny.
You're not a woman, dog, because a woman doesn't live here.
Yeah,
It's
this is
different.
very true.
You look at the way your mom lives, like when she decorates, or when she furnishes a place,
Right.
versus when you furnish a place. You're like a table, a box, boom. Like you're like the living meme where it's like dudes literally live like this.
I mean, I don't think like it's fair to say that because I think men can be interior designers too, though. You know what I mean? Like if I really put in some
They have
thought
to work for those
process
people.
into this, I think I could make it look great. My only problem is that I probably won't be here for that much longer. You know,
I don't know, man. Like
it's going to be
doesn't
like
take a
8
lot.
months, and 8 months goes by like that.
I mean, because as a dude, you don't need much. You just need a table and a television, and you're done. You're good.
Table, television,
And-
gaming chair, a place to shit,
don't
and a
even-
place to shower,
And a place to shower. Yes.
and a place to eat as
And
well.
You can eat right exactly where you make your food.
I have a feeling that at some point, and I mean this in the most respectful way, but I have a feeling you're going to be on extreme cheapskates, and you're going to be like the guy who fucking I don't know if you saw this, but there's an episode where this dude saran wraps his whole house,
Yeah.
and he only lives in his closet, and he like took his bed and threw it in his closet, and so basically he literally kept the house like as if it was brand new, because he saran wrapped the whole place to make it higher value when he wants to sell. It's actually a really smart plan. The problem is that you would look like you're going into Dexter's house.
I don't even know like why people do outrageous things to try and resell something like that. I mean, if it was something super like expensive, like a Pokemon card or something,
Right.
I'd be like, all right, I want to take care of it with my life. I can understand taking care of your house to
Yeah.
a certain extent, but like saran wrapping it seems just like a.
I'm telling you, it's like you're walking into a Dexter episode.
Was that a TLC episode you said?
Yeah, I believe, yeah, or Lifetime. It's one or the other.
Bro, see, I don't really like.
And TLC's the one with the My Strange Addiction, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe it's the same.
I don't have a good eye for furnishing. The only thing it's like, I like the idea of furniture looking a certain type of way, but there's got to be like a function, a form. I mean, it's got to be comfortable because
It definitely has to be comfortable.
there's I have like really expensive taste. All right. Just
Interesting.
I have very expensive taste.
Okay. So let me
I-
retract my extreme cheapskate comment.
I enjoy the finer things in life. Like when something is made
Mm-hmm.
like, and it is made well, and it is not only just good and it works,
made in USA,
and made in the US, and it works, then yeah, I'll pay for it. Like, it's worth what you pay for.
right?
If it's like this couch that just look like that furniture in the recreation room, that
Yeah, that
furniture
shit is
just
ass.
looks,
It looks modern, but the comfort level
it's not
is
comfortable.
trash.
It's like chafa. It's fugazi. It's to give the impression that you live in a very expensive place. A lot of the things here are faux.
They probably got it from IKEA. You know?
You know what bothers me the most is some of the nicest places use some of the cheapest labor, in my opinion. I could be exaggerating. But this, like...
No, you're not wrong.
I don't know. Like, that's just my feeling. I'm just being cynical.
So, okay, let me ask you this. So, when you go to a hotel, you go to hotels, right?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I
was going to say, do you pay attention to the furniture at hotels? Not inside of your room, but like in the main lobby and things like that.
Yeah. Why? What about it?
Yeah. So when you look at that, do you think, okay, that obviously looks super comfortable?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Because my buildings, when I was still working there, they had just implemented like remodeling and refurnishing things. And I thought it was so stupid and ridiculous. I'm like, who the fuck is going to put this, like, it looks like vintage antique. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, that's stupid. Why? Why are you putting this fancy shit? Like,
are you more of a modern person when it comes to design?
I don't know. I think, no, okay. You know what? I for sure have there's like a level of like, where something reaches like timelessness.
Right.
And something is just like... Like something modern, I don't think is timeless because it's modern.
Okay.
But if it's like, if for example, I really like a wooden chair, like an armchair. What are they called? Armchairs? Armrest chair? I don't know. Like those really nice.
I mean, there's so many different, like wooden chairs are in anything.
No, there's a specific kind of chair which are made with like leather, and it's stretched so that it's
like a lazy boy.
No, not a lazy boy. These are like antique furniture sets. They use leather and wood to give it this like bourgeois look, or baroque. Is it baroque? Yeah, the word baroque. Like, do you remember
there it is.
Yeah, no, it's the word baroque. It's got like this swirly tech like imprints, and like it looks antique. It looks baroque or whatever. And
that's a setup you would like to have.
Yeah, because I do like the finer things, and if my couch.
The problem with an antique piece of furniture is the upkeep. Like, you really have to make sure that you take care of it in order for it to look pristine.
I don't know, bro. I hate taking care of things.
That's my point. This is exactly why I'm telling you this. This is why you have no girlfriend.
No, she takes care of me. Like Patrice O'Neill says, we like you, you love us. There it is. It's a balance. We like you, and you love us.
Yeah.
You don't want us to love you. You know what I mean?
Why do you not want us to love you?
Because that's
if
too
you're
much.
Speaking to a woman.
It's too much.
What's too much?
To love a woman.
It is. I'll say this. It's a lot because...
That's what Patrice O'Neill was.
Yeah. But it is like emotionally and like... I mean, mentally, physically draining to love a woman.
I wouldn't know. I don't have a girlfriend. I wouldn't know. I like being single, to be honest with you. It's kind of fun.
You're thriving.
I am thriving.
You got your own show. You know
what's funny? The other day I was thinking to myself, because I heard a couple stories about people who are like turning, like they're hitting 30 and they're like, they're like peaking or whatever. They're like, I don't have a family. I don't have this.
Right.
And I remember growing up watching that movie with Jennifer Garner, 13 going on 30.
Oh, yeah.
30, flirty, and thriving. You know what I mean?
There it is.
There it is, bro. They're 30, flirty, and thriving. I want to be 30, I want to be flirty, and I want to be thriving.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you... Well, I don't know how your parents told you, but I remember
my parents didn't tell me anything.
Growing up, my parents would always tell me that you shouldn't get married until you're in your 30s because by that point you've lived life. You know what I'm saying?
Do you believe them?
I do.
Why?
I do, actually. Because I think, well, quote unquote, biologically, right? Once you turn 25, your brain is matured.
That's what they say, yeah.
So I think that's kind of the beginning of your prime.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, when you hit 30, you're in the middle of your prime. And that's like, I wouldn't say your peak yet. I'd say your peak is probably 2 years after that, because one, you've probably been doing something that you really wanted to do for the last couple of years. And you're probably in a position now where you can have, this is the goal, right? This is not, it doesn't happen for everyone, but the goal is to be in the position where you could have some type of passive income and not have to necessarily, worry about your job security. That's really the main one, because job security is probably the biggest thing, especially living in America. Like you would want to have a career that is set in stone and that you don't have to worry about looking for a new job, or that that you could be fired at any point. With that being said, don't get me wrong, everyone can be fired. If you're not the boss, the reality is you can be fired. But I think when you're 30, 32, like you've already worked at a company for so many amount of years, you're not necessarily going on your tenure, but you're in a much better position than if you were to start the company when you were like 20, 26, 27. Like you're much more wise. You have a lot more knowledge now. And hopefully by the time you're 32, you're on your second business or your second like big hobby that you believe will bring you in some type of income. Hopefully. I mean, it's not always the case. Does that make sense? Does that make any sense?
It does make sense. I mean, like, people need to work harder.
Yeah, definitely.
People need to understand that, like, these companies are not going to bend over for you to get time off. Like, you don't need to spend time with your children as soon as they're born. You can work.
No, I disagree with that. There's no reason
for you to be even taking time. No reason.
Yes, there is.
No.
Biologically, psychologically speaking, there 100% is. Look at all the fucking serial killers. They got mommy issues.
You know who's got issues? Fucking Megan Fox. Bro, because, like...
No, she got daddy, mommy, cousin. She got all the issues in the world.
I don't even know her, but
she's on a sick one, bro. I don't know how she's living.
One, bro. She's on a sick one.
Don't get me wrong,
bro,
like...
I smell like weed all the time, and women never, ever fucking approach me like that. What am I doing wrong? Who the fuck do I gotta talk to?
You gotta be an alt boy, bro. You gotta.
I don't have tattoos on my face.
I'm gonna tell
I don't
you.
have a single tattoo yet.
I'm gonna tell you the recipe.
Tell me the recipe.
So, get a tattoo. Okay, look, boom. I got mine right here. You get 2 tattoos. You might get more, whatever. You put your hair down. That's what you're missing, bro. You want to keep your hair up, bro. I
already look like a bum.
But if you put your hair down, or you get like a cut, maybe a medium cut, oh my god, bro, you'll have all the women. Your beard is coming in real good. Bro,
I'd be slaying, but I'd be slaying the wrong people. You know what I mean? There's no, like, she was, like, it's so funny that I don't think
there's a way to slay the wrong person.
No, like, check it. They printed that shit because they did, like, a whole sexy photo shoot together.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is, I don't know, like, that shit just looks like some high school shit to me. Like, taking photos with your boo, with your tongue in her mouth,
Yeah.
Like, just taking photos of yourself. Like, I get it. I probably did it, like, once or twice. Like a fucking weirdo.
Taking photos of what?
With you and your boo, like when you're
with
just
your tongue in your mouth?
Like, you ever take photos with your girl kissing?
I mean, a peck. I don't.
You don't take pictures of yourself with your girl kissing. You didn't used to do that.
Nah, not with my tongue in her mouth. No, that's weird as fuck.
How's that weird?
Not like it's not weird, but to me that's
never, like, take a picture with you, like.
Sorry, let me retract that. It's not weird, but to me it's more of it's like a privatized thing. Like I always feel so weirded out when I see like couples together in
Is your affection for each other in public?
No, I'm all for PDA. Just more of
PDA,
public display affection, or something like that.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
I think it's public display affection. Someone tell me in the comment section.
PDA is a personal defense assistant, personal device assistant.
No, but I'm all for PDA, but it's just more of like I don't want to see you and your significant other after you just had sex and like it's a photo and it's supposed to be all cute and shit. Like, no one needs to see that shit. Keep that to yourself.
Why do they share that?
Because they want. I don't know. And I've been trying to. No, I shit you not. I have no clue. I think it's for validation.
Of what? That I fucked?
That my partner is mine enough that we're comfortable enough to share this. And like, and the, you know what the funny thing about that is the people who take the pictures like that are usually the ones who have the worst relationships with their partner, because there's either infidelity going on or they're just not happy with each other. But when you take a picture with your partner, right? Like, this is why I always say relationships on social media that are posted of like people so happy like that, it's almost always a facade. Like, I literally have seen pictures of girls that are like, happy 2 year to my husband, da 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 da, right? To my husband, you know, you're everything I ever wanted. I look forward to my future with you, all this. And I know that the homie was hitting that like 2 weeks ago type of shit. Like, it's messed up, bro. You can't trust people out here. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, but I think for them it's just more of, it's a validation thing why people post pictures like that. Because I'm not the type to do that. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I have my after explicit activity photos for sure, or even your during photos, whatever, right?
I don't do that.
But you keep it in your bank, and obviously you ask for consent. Yeah, you keep it in the vault.
I don't take photos like that.
Well,
why would you do that? Disgusting.
Well, I'm a disgusting motherfucker. I'm nasty, bro.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. I've taken.
That's what I'm saying. At some point, when you're comfortable enough with your partner, you've done that. You made a video or two, whatever, right? But it's something that doesn't need to be shared, and you can verbally speak about it, but once you bring it out into the open, like, you know, like dudes that show their friends the woman nudes, like, that's so weird to me. So weird to me.
Friends who show their homies the nudes? Yeah,
the nudes of their girl, or like a woman they're sleeping with or whatever. Like
some frat culture, both like
yeah. I mean, it's just dudes that are like trying to, I don't know, get a one up on you, or
I don't know, bro.
I don't really know. That's the way I take it. Like, I just look at it like, that's weird. That's so disrespectful. You know, when you're with a partner and they trust you enough for that, and you do that,
and then you go and show them.
That's some weird shit.
That is kind of some weird shit. I mean, it would be different if it was like,
with that being
some
said,
chick you were just sleeping with and nobody knew who she was.
No, I mean, even then, that's weird.
You're right. Yeah, maybe that's
weird, dude.
I feel you. I understand what you're saying, because it's disrespectful to her. Yeah, because you're doing it behind her back. Yeah, and it was a private.
It was a private thing.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And if a woman shares her body with you, like, you know, that's a compliment towards you. That means that they respect you in order to do that. You know what I mean?
They respect you.
And if you go back and like betray that trust, or you disrespect them in some way, I don't know. I've never been a fan of that. I've always thought that was weird. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, as a straight male, or, you know, it's not just women too. I mean, like, men on men do it as well. You know what I'm saying? I just think, as a cisgender male, right? Like, I've never agreed with that. I think that shit is wrong. But I digress.
What's wrong? What, like, you said
that just sharing the things that are explicit between you and your partner, that should be between you and your partner. You know what I mean?
I was talking to somebody about what people share on Instagram and stuff, like, the other day, because I don't really use it like that. I have it because it's active, and
right.
It's, you know, it's a product of Facebook. No, it's not a product of Facebook. They own it now.
Okay.
You know, it's like, what do you like before? I guess I don't know how it works. It's cool. Like, I'm like trying to figure out how to use it, because like it'd be cool to share things that I'm up to.
Right.
Maybe things that I really enjoy doing, like, you know, like,
why? See, the thing to me is that, like, why do we think that people care enough in order to like see what we want them to see?
This is what I was saying. I was like saying that there are people that I follow on my Instagram that follow me as well, that I used talked to in high school, but now I don't. And there's nothing weird about sharing it, like.
No. I'm just saying, why do we do it? Why has it become such a an accustomed thing for us? If you sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, we know that like getting likes and stuff stimulates us.
Mm-hmm. It's a psychological thing.
Yeah, right. People like the attention, and people's attention now is down to like 7 seconds, and TikTok,
which is crazy.
TikTok has a grip on that attention. Like, I kid you not. Like, anytime anybody, like, I love it when you reference TikTok, because it just goes to show. Because like when I used to keep up with it before it became the global phenomenon that it is now, I thought to myself, another fucking Vine app. I had no idea that it would become like the millennial app for what Instagram and like Snapchat and Facebook was for us, right? When it first emerged. That's what I think TikTok is to these young creators, right? TikTok being like this super attention whore, right? Okay. Literally, you can burn an hour versus watching a video for an hour. Like, to invest an hour into one video, that's one thing. But to watch 100 videos in an hour, that's another, right?
Yeah.
It's insane.
It is, actually, when I think about it, because I don't really
like, what is intimate anymore? Like, if people are just posting random shit about their lives and everybody can be a producer, a music studio, or fucking anything like that, what is intimate? Like, if you're, it's cool to share things that's going on in your life. Like, you got a new dog, you just bought a house, you just had a baby. You want to share those things with people. Those
I don't mind seeing. This is where it's so weird, because I don't really know how to justify it in my mind. Where
justify what?
Like, why do I like to look at certain things, or why do I feel like some type of why do I feel types of ways about what people post? You know what I mean? Like, it's
because these algorithms are designed in a way to elicit a reaction, bro, an emotion, and it plays off your emotions. We've known this for a while, but I mean, nobody really cares, because it's if you're responsible, you can learn to put your phone down.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. Now, with that being said, it's not it's not to say that some of these tech companies don't, sell our data for massive amounts of profit and don't really care, about the algorithm and how it affects people, so long as it drives people to engage and stay on there much longer.
Yeah.
I mean, there was the recent whistleblower from Facebook, right, who had tons of documents just outlining how Facebook has a bias. And I think we've known this for a long time. And maybe that reaction you get when you see something you don't like, or you're like why? You're just like, I try to remind myself that feeling, that instinct to just react is not, it's part of me, but I need to keep it under control, because maybe I see someone say something stupid.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh, you stupid. Like, I'm about to say something to make myself sound smarter than you. And then I realize, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, it's the fucking internet.
That's
like,
interesting.
I'm not trying to prove you wrong. In my emotion is trying to tell you, hey, like, this dumbass is saying some dumb shit. Like, oh, I don't know, whatever they're saying, and you think to yourself, oh, bro, like, you don't know what you're talking about, dog. Like, let me tell you how it really is. Or, maybe someone has an opinion or a comment, and someone reacts in a way. Someone reacts in a way that offends them, but it's like, okay, cool. Like, in order to be able to think, you have to risk being offensive. So if my opinion offends you, I think that's cool. Like maybe I've said something that you disagree with. Okay,
you like to challenge people.
It's not a matter of challenging people, because if you're wrong and you immediately understand you're wrong, and you can say, oh, you know what, I made a mistake. My stance on that was wrong, and like, you know what, you're absolutely right, or whatever. I'll change my mind. To challenge somebody would be to say that maybe their idea of freedom is different from mine, and I'm trying to convince them that my idea of freedom is correct and theirs isn't.
So when you're saying wrong, you're going solely based off of facts then?
Correct. That would be something like, yeah.
Because that's, that, you know, because there is no wrong and right when it comes to opinion unless facts are based in your conversation.
Right. And so, yeah.
Okay.
And but, you know, go ahead. You were saying something about...
yeah, I mean, I was just going to say, you know, I think it's so interesting that you can interact with a stranger across the world that you've never seen. And this is really probably the biggest thing that I have to say thank you for, because you taught me that it's, I mean, and I, you know, you kind of know this, right? But you have to have someone tell you in order to understand it. But you taught me that it's better to follow people on social media that you don't know than to follow people on social media that you do know. Because when you follow people on social media that you do know, you're not only saying like the same thing over and over and over, right? But you're having the same interactions over and over and over. And if you're not having the same interactions nowadays, it's like, if you don't agree with me, you're already in the wrong and I don't need to talk to you type of thing. And I think it's going to be so interesting in the next 20, 30 years to see how that plays out, especially amongst high school reunions. You know, like there's going to be...
Do they actually have those?
Oh, no, they do. 100%.
I'm sure they do.
I've worked multiple parties that have high school reunions.
How long are they? 10 years?
Every 10 years.
Oh, fuck.
Yours is coming up, huh?
Yeah, I gotta hurry the fuck up.
Yeah, mine is 2 years away.
This shit has to take.
If I remember correctly.
This shit needs to take the fuck off already, so that we can rub it on all you fools' faces and be like, we kept up with the future.
No, but it's just so crazy to me that, you know, before you even said something, I really never thought about following people I don't know, because I didn't care for their opinion or what they tweeted or whatever they had to say, you know, because I'm like, I don't fucking know you. I'm never going to interact with you. But what I've really worked my brain around is following people that not only I don't know, but are successful and kind of change your mind into a better mindset outside of what I know from Los Angeles. Like they're expanding my mind more, you know. I sent you a thread today about 20 books that you should read in your 20s, and that's the type of content that I look forward to now. Rather than
fucking hater.
No. Yeah. I'm saying it's the content that I look forward to when I hop on social media, rather than looking forward to seeing my friend going out drinking or having a good time. Like, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just more of my brain is more wired towards something that's going to be positive. Yeah,
it's exhausting. It's exhausting to see that post your beautiful fucking faces, you know, every time. Like, I get it, girl.
And
like,
I'm sure people feel that way about me too, you know, because I rarely post, but from time to time, you know, I'll put up, or not time for that. When I do post, it's usually a selfie, you know, and sometimes I feel so weird posting it, but I'm like,
you know what's beautiful?
It's funny because I want the validation in that moment. Like, do I actually look as good as I think I do? And I see it on myself, the detrimental effects of social media, because, you know, at one point I was quite close to becoming like social media famous based solely on my looks.
The way that you said that,
I know, it's so weird. It's so cringy. It really is. But it does go to show you now, as I'm getting older, and don't get me wrong, like I still think I'm developing into a quite good looking person, but I don't think I'm on the level that I once was. But it's so funny to me that I try to get this validation when I do post these like selfies to be like, do I still look good? Do people still think I look good? I know it's kind of sad in a way, you know, because it's like, a little sad. Why do I care about that so much? Like, I don't even interact with these people anymore.
I don't care what shoes you're wearing. I don't care what shirt you have on. Like,
I mean, if I'm following people that are into fashion, then by all means, you know, feel free to post that. But I'm just saying in general, you know, like my interests have definitely changed from what they once were. And I think for me, that's where TikTok gets it wrong, because the algorithm, unless you delete your cache or I forgot what it is, but your data basically, I'm pretty sure it's your cache. Unless you delete your cache, your algorithm stays the same. So once you like one video of this chick shaking some ass, now you have a bunch of videos of a chick shaking ass. Once you like one video of a couple like breaking up or some dude saying some motivational shit. Like, you really do control your algorithm, and it's just so crazy to me that based on your your algorithm is kind of created for you. But you can always create your algorithm. It just matters more of what are you into, what are your interests.
I can't stand using TikTok. I can't stand it. I know that it kept saying we were gonna make one for this channel.
I mean, I post, or no, I haven't posted for this channel on TikTok in a while.
On your personal page?
Yeah, on my personal page.
I mean, look, the thing
I would like to, because
you could
I think it's interesting the conversations that we have. And I mean, I see some of these videos, and no disrespect to anybody out there who's doing their grind through TikTok or whatever, but some of these videos of podcasts or shows or whatever are just complete ass, and they have hundreds of thousands of likes, and that's traffic that I think should be redirected somewhere else. I'm not saying I'm
to us.
It doesn't even need to be honest, to us.
Like, there are many podcasts out there that talk about nothing, dude.
Yeah, nothing.
You guys are talking about nothing. Like, here, we sound stupid for trying to talk about something, right? Like, we pause, we try and think. Like, if I've heard really smart people talk who don't take a breath, it's incredible. I have to take a breath like every couple words because I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a moron. It's like I want to know more, but it is impossible to know everything, right?
Yeah.
Like those 20 books to read in your 20s. Like, there are these. Don't get me wrong. I think it's I commented. I said, like, these are books you should read in general. Like, you don't have to be in your 20s to read these. Because I think I'm tired of hearing like what to do in your 20s. Oh, 10 things to do before you're 30. Do these 5 things to make sure you're successful as hell when you're 40.
No, it's
like,
it's the concept is if you, because a lot of 20-year-olds or no, that's generalizing. I'm just saying a lot of people around our age have stopped reading. Like, outside of education-based books. Because that's really how you start reading, is because of school, and you read through education-based books, or you read because your English teacher tells you that you need to read this book. And I've definitely read some amazing books through English class, but that's really how you shift your mind to enjoy reading, is to find something that you want to read. Correct?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm honestly, like, reading to me, like, I want to be a better reader. Like, I want to read more books. I want to be able to read a book a day, to be completely honest with you. And that's me being genuine. Like,
but that's not if you were able to make it into your schedule where you were able to still be responsible, get everything you needed done, and I'm talking outside of just, the normal responsibilities of an adult person, but also, like, when you have a 9 to 5 and you get off and you're tired, now you have to cook, right? We always talk about this because
we do talk about this because we're for the plight. We're pro labor. we're for the people who work in the hospitality.
Definitely.
And
definitely,
we have experience there, and we understand that, like, these people, they don't deserve your shit. So please be kind to these people, because a lot of these people, they couldn't work from home.
Yeah.
You don't work from home.
Very true.
Bagging groceries, but they were there. So please remember to be kind to them, because
essential workers, always be kind.
Even if some of them can be assholes on the internet, they don't. It sucks because. Well, anyway, look,
I mean, the harsh reality is too, right? It's that not many jobs were even able to work from home. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, there was a good amount out there, but it was also the people that were getting those jobs were people who had degrees, were super qualified for a job, and they were just in a shitty situation through the pandemic. But because of what they did with their life, their circumstances, whatever, they were able to get that job. But remote work it's still out there. Like, you can look it up on Indeed. There are remote work opportunities.
Yeah, dude, there's been this paradigm shift of people, dude. I was listening to my favorite independent news source, Breaking Points, with Crystal Ball and Sagar and Jetty. they've been keeping track of the unemployment, the strikes, all these people who work in these industries, food and retail, hospitality, healthcare, factory, all of these people, they're like they're going on strike to get better wages and stuff.
Right.
And it's like made this reassessment of certain people who used to work in an office, now work from home, who did one thing, now do another, because they're like, you know what, I don't want to be, a barista at Starbucks anymore. I kind of don't want to be working at a car wash anymore. I don't really want to be driving an Uber for 8 hours a day or delivering DoorDash for 12 hours a day, because I could make $60,000 a year driving for Uber or DoorDash, but something about whatever.
At what cost?
At what cost?
At what cost? That's really what it is.
Everything going on in the world, like going back to school seems like a really good option, And I'm like, damn, like I could just go, like the idea of getting my master's. It just sounds so fucking sexy, dude. I don't know why. Like,
interesting.
Honestly, I used to look at my accounting professor.
Well, first you have to get a bachelor's.
That ain't shit. I'd be down to get a master's, bro, because like my professor from accounting, he had his accounting degree, his master's in accounting from USC, right?
Right.
There was a fucking master, dog. Like, you know how in anime there are like those masters? He was a master, really fucking good at accounting. Like, really taught me a lot. And I just would look at that piece of paper. I'd be like, man, I want my fucking name on that. It just says, because then it would say his name, and then it's just nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
No, I mean to have the credentials of a higher education it's a feat. I mean, it really is. But the problem is I don't think you understand how hard it is until you're there for your master's, for instance, right? Like, man, when you have to write that paper,
bro, it sounds insane, but right now I kind of want to do it.
I love that for you, and I truly do hope that you pursue that.
So many times I've had sometimes I remember I went to this.
But here's my problem too, right? Though, is if you've felt like this for a while now, because you have, it's been maybe about a year and a half.
Honestly,
sign the fuck up for classes.
For the past 5 years, I wanted to get it.
So sign up for classes. You have nothing holding you back.
No, that's the thing. Like, I'm getting ready to just ramp up, because like I couldn't focus before.
So what has changed?
I've just become aware of like
You've become
the
aware
society we live in, and my goals. Like, if you don't aim at a goal, if you don't have any goals or something, like, it's gonna suck.
So
it's gonna really suck.
I'm currently reading Atomic Habits. I don't know if you've heard about it.
The Christian who sold his fucking Honda Civic.
No, I finished that book. No, but I'm currently reading Atomic Habits, and one of the biggest, pretty much the biggest part of Atomic Habits, introduced right at the first chapter, is that it's not goals that get you to success. It's a system. So you can have a goal, you can have a milestone that you want to get to, right? But the only way to get there is through the development of a system, the development of good habits.
Okay.
But you need the system in order to get to the goal. So basically, obviously you can hear, but don't have a goal, have a system. Because once you have a system, you're able to accomplish anything you want. And that's kind of the reason why parents teach you at such a young age that you need chores. Because when you have chores, you're consistently doing something. You consistently have a responsibility, and you know that, okay, when I have my chores in order to do this, and this, the only way I get to leave today is by finishing my chores, type of thing.
Okay,
right?
I disagree with the way they break it down. I'll call it simply discipline. Honestly, I think through martial arts, you can earn a level of discipline. Like, I took martial arts for a little bit.
Right.
And there's a level of discipline there. I only took it for 3 months straight.
Yeah. But it was a system that you created, though. You went for 3 months straight. You just stopped going.
No, here's the thing. I went because I got to a point where like, okay, what's next? Like, okay. I'm like, okay, 3 months in, I'm pretty athletic. I'm like practicing. I'm like, do I want to keep practicing? Like, do I want to compete? Is this what I'm doing?
Right.
Like, those are the kinds of thoughts I was having. Like, I was just kind of like thinking, like, fuck, what do I want to do for the next like 10 years? Like,
yeah.
am I want to do I want to work in TV and film? Like, that was one of my biggest things. Like, I want to work in TV and film, but I was kind of like aware of. Yeah. Like, I didn't take advantage of things. Like, I took a path where I just didn't take advantage of things. I lollygaggled.
Right.
And, you know, I could have taken advantage of my music academy skills. You know, and taken a music career path. Simply and do that. Because I had busted my ass off to get into my middle school and my high school just through music.
I didn't know you were in the music academy.
Yeah, dude, I'm a musician. I can sing also.
That's dope.
And play piano. I used to know how to play piano. I don't remember how to play piano now.
See, isn't it so crazy that we learn these things at such a young age, and if we don't love it, or if there's something that happens in our life that kind of just shifts it, we completely forget all about it, and where we could have lived up to our potential, we just don't.
It's because I was trying to get laid all the time.
Yeah, but you could have got laid playing piano.
Dude, oh
no,
my
laid,
God.
You could have got laid anytime you go out as an adult.
I really should have joined theater. I fucked up by not joining theater because joining, bro.
I mean, you can always do that though. Like that's still in your grasp. Especially you live in Los Angeles.
As you get older, there are things that are too late to do.
It's not too late.
It's too late.
It's not.
Bro, like, you just gotta look past and move forward.
It's not too late. I promise you. I can
keep saying too late because
if I wanted to be, let me tell you, if I wanted to be an actor,
do it.
I could be an actor.
Robert Downey Jr.
But I don't want to be an actor.
Why not?
I'm just telling you, it's not too late because I don't give a flying.
What if you like go for one of those open auditions, and then all of a sudden you get discovered and they're like, "Oh shit, you have a knack for this?"
Yeah. 100%. You can take the risk, but you have to also want to be able, or not want to be able. You have to want to do that. I don't want to be an actor.
You don't have to want to.
And I know this. I know I could pass because when I was, well, maybe not now, but when I was younger, I had multiple producers like come up to me and ask me if I would come in for their casting, and I was just like, I don't want to be an actor. I'm good.
That's good. It turned out weird.
Yeah, I think I would have been
weirder than you are now.
Yeah, probably. All weird. Actors are weirdos.
Yeah, dude, because
they're real weird. There's a couple of actors who live in this building. They
have to be other people. That's their job. It's odd.
I do think I could do that well, though. Like I think that I could create a personality. I'm not saying be on like some Heath Ledger shit.
You'd be a diva.
But I'm saying
honestly, you'd be a diva.
I probably would.
You'd be a fun diva.
Probably would.
Like, people would see right through your divaness. Like, you'd be breaking down in your trailer. You'd be, like, making sure you stuff down that fucking Adderall before you get started for the day and shit.
Yeah, I think I'd be a drug addict if I was...
You would have been hanging
If I was an actor, I think I'd be a drug addict for sure. Because when I was younger, I was, like... You know, I was the yes man, essentially. Right? So I know that people would have taken advantage of me 100%.
They would have wanted you to come in for a doctor's checkup all the time.
Yeah, like things. I mean, I probably would have went through some shit, you know,
bro,
some real weird shit.
Did you see that Lizzo went to Cardi B's 28th birthday in like a see-through dress? I think I sent it to you.
Where are we going with this?
Hold on. With this? No,
No, I did not see that.
Some Twitter shit I saw just popped into my head. I was like, oh yeah, you know, Lizzo, like.
I'm not a fan of her music.
I mean, she was looking sexy. Don't get me wrong. Like, she's not my type.
Oh, okay.
But she was looking sexy, you know.
Interesting.
I mean, you know how Lizzo is. She's plus size.
Yeah.
You know, no hate here. She's wearing pasties, you know, because it was a gown. It was a see-through gown. Purple see-through gown.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Pull it up on your phone.
I would highly rather not have that.
Please, because you gotta get on this.
I'd rather not have that.
I even saw the video of her twerking.
My mind, you know.
Oh my gosh, she was getting into it, bro. Like a minute of just.
I'm not a big fan of.
You don't even know her.
I don't like the way that she looks.
Oh my god, you hate fat people, dude. Dude.
I'm not saying weight. I just don't think she looks. She's not my type. She's not my type.
Because she's big.
But I'm not saying weight. No, I'm not a fan of
blacks. Oh my god.
Of her face.
Face
matters a lot to me.
Yeah,
a lot. If I think you have a good looking face, you probably have a pretty good chance with me. The same way that
I'm a sucker for a pretty.
The same way that women look at me and then he's like, "That's a good looking." Because I don't have a lot going on for my body. I mean, I'm a 5'11", 136 pounds. You know, but I'm not I'm not buff by any means. Like I've just accepted my body for the way it is. But I've always had a really, really symmetrical face. So in the attractive world, quote unquote, I'm labeled as attractive.
Look, it's funny. I was describing you to my cousin, and
why? The girl cousin or the guy cousin?
I was telling them the story. They told me that one time you didn't get invited. Oh, you got invited to the
bar.
No, to the baby shower.
Oh yeah.
Extra late.
Right.
And I'm like, man, these people don't like you because they invited you the same week of and shit.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that. I would like to one day, have a conversation with that couple. But no, I would because
what are you talk to them about?
Yeah, fair enough. What
are you gonna say? Oh, why didn't you invite me to the baby shower?
No, I would say what I feel on my chest because I still feel like it was wrong, but
it was wrong. Why? Go, because you told me why.
Yeah.
I mean, dude. Yeah, I was just describing you for some reason.
Bro, do not pull up Lizzo. I don't care. Thank you.
She pulled up, and it's like, I saw the Dave Chappelle special also.
Okay.
Did anybody else catch it? If you did, let us know. I thought it was nothing special. It was funny. I like Dave Chappelle. But he did say this was his last special for a long time. And
he probably knew he was going to get canceled from his jokes.
Canceled? He didn't get canceled, bro. People are overreacting.
No, I mean,
said it best.
He did not get canceled, but I don't know if you saw, but there's a group of Netflix people
that want to stage a
strike.
A walkout.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, bro, like they're being ridiculous. Which is such the wrong
time to do it. Like in the production companies right now, there's so much happening, like strikes and things like that. So they're just.
I appreciate for Netflix standing up for itself because they defended Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
They suspended the woman who barged into a. Look, you know this better than anyone, Nick, because I know you love rules, and I love that about you because, you may...
I'm a good person. I follow the rules.
Nah, be careful, be wary of people who say they are good. And
That's
people who
true,
cheat
actually.
and be careful of people who cheat at Uno. If people cheat at Uno, don't be friends with them.
Jenga as well.
Jenga as well. Don't kick it with people. Don't kick it with people who cheat at Jenga or Uno. Anyways, what was I saying? About rules, right? So... She was, who was I talking about? What was I talking about?
The Netflix employee.
Yeah, she broke the rules about going into a meeting that she's not allowed into, right? If there's a board meeting, right, and an employee just barges in, trying to express their opinion, you think as the boss you're gonna sit there and listen to their opinion?
I mean, you can sit there and I don't think there's anything wrong listening to her opinion. Don't change your
tune. Like I just barged into a meeting.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's anything wrong listening to her opinion, but I don't think it's right that she thought it was okay to barge into a meeting. Like, I get your point across. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're see, the problem is that when your emotions are high, you're impulsive, right? And so that's why she didn't think anything of it. She was like, okay, I'm gonna barge in here. I'm gonna express my opinion, and they'll probably do something about it because this is like the new age where people feel like if you share your opinion, then something needs to happen right away, right? Like that's the validation towards your opinion. So when things don't happen the way that they want, they're like, what the fuck? How's this? Like, why is this not going my way?
Look, don't justify this woman's actions. Like,
I'm not. I'm just telling you it's an impulsive thing. But with that being said, like, although I'm sure they did listen to our opinion, they were also like, get the hell out of my office, or, you know, get out of this board meeting, whatever it is. Like, at the end of the day, security is okay to be called in that instance, because you shouldn't be somewhere that you're not supposed to be. That's the rule.
The baby
Uh-huh.
shot someone in a Walmart.
I saw that. Yeah.
When?
No, I heard about it.
Cool.
Years ago. It was like 7, 8 years ago. Something
Absolutely.
like that.
He shot someone. This dude died.
He also defended himself.
True.
From getting shot.
Correct.
So,
it didn't affect,
and I don't know the laws in North Carolina, correct?
It was a Walmart, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the laws in that case.
Whatever that situation, you know, however that situation went down,
Mm-hmm.
you know, he later was canceled for saying some homophobic
comments.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I never heard them. So I don't know exactly what he said.
Yeah, I don't know either.
So Dave Chappelle put it bluntly. He was like, the baby can get away with murder.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
But the moment
I saw the clip of this.
Yeah, the moment you hurt a gay person's feelings or a trans person's feelings, you know, it's all hell breaks loose. And, like, people really do believe Dave Chappelle is punching down on trans people. And I don't know, it's like, this is such last week's news, I swear, like, because they're, like, staging a strike, and it's, like, futile because they're missing the point completely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a group of people, trans exclusionary reactionary feminists, TERFs,
okay,
who, like, don't like a certain group of people, who don't like a certain group of feminists. And it's confusing because I thought that we're all in the same boat, and for me to say that is like, oh, that's offensive, because, you know, we all have different identities, and our identities correspond to the way we feel. And it's like, okay, I'm sorry I offended you. I'm not sorry, though, for what, like, for thinking that it's appropriate to think in a logical manner about some of these things, because I can understand if he was being aggressive towards them,
mm-hmm.
but he was being honest about, I think.
Yeah, it was just nonchalant, and that's kind of the reason, in my opinion, why these you said TERFs.
I think that's what they're called, yeah.
Yeah, the TERFs are rage because they're like, why is it okay for him to say that in public light? And it just shines like, look, at the end of the day, I don't think it's wrong to say that, but I do think there's a time and place. However, with that being said, if you know Dave Chappelle's comedy, you know that he's consistently done that throughout the years with multiple like things that are just, they shouldn't be, you know, brought to light, like the racist black guy skit where he's supposed to be like the leader of the Klan or whatever, you know, there's things like that. Like, that is Dave Chappelle's humor. So I think, can you really be angry with him when, you know, at the end of the day, if you're someone new, and this is kind of probably what they're saying is like, it shouldn't be like this because it's been like this for so long, and we're trying to shift it into this direction, and this just brings us back, right? That's basically, to me at least, that's why they're outraged. And I can understand that, but you know, like I said, if you watch Dave Chappelle, you know what he's going to bring. That is Dave Chappelle. That is his humor. And there's multiple written articles, even from his last stand-up, that said Dave Chappelle is the same Dave Chappelle that he was when he was doing the Chappelle Show. They said in this article, or articles, they were like, in this day and age, Dave Chappelle is still the same person, and it's not funny anymore, type of thing. And to me, I was cracking up. Like, I thought his last stand-up was funny. Not the most previous one, but the one before. But that's also because that's the humor that I grew up with, watching Dave Chappelle, you know? And this new age of you have to switch your opinion, or it's a dilemma. It goes to show you, like, things are soft nowadays, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know? Like, it is what it is, but you can't force people to agree with your opinion just because it's the right thing to do morally or whatever, right? Like, if someone wants to be bad, they're going to be bad. You can't force them to be good.
Mm.
If we're looking at it from a moral standpoint.
He told a story about his friend
Mm-hmm.
who committed suicide,
Mm-hmm.
and it was tough. It was a nice way to wrap up his special. He tells the story about his friend Daphne, and that she was the one of the few trans people who defended him at the time.
Mm.
And I guess it was a combination of things that caused her suicide. And maybe sometimes people will look at someone's actions as just like trying to patch up. No, how would I say it? Make it seem like he does care. So maybe like, oh, I do have trans friends, so that says that I do care about your community.
Right.
My jokes are just that. They're jokes. And there's truth in jokes, right? That's why I think it bothers me when people clap. I'm like, people are clapping because they're like, oh, that's true. I think it's funnier when people are
you mean when it's like a preach clap, essentially?
Yeah. It's like
gotcha.
I hate a preach clap. Like,
yeah.
Like,
But it's more like, I agree with what you're saying, so I'm going to applaud that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Instead of it being funny. Like, people are pretty savvy nowadays, so I think like maybe Dave's biggest criticism is that his comedy has not changed.
Yeah.
It's still the same, and I mean that's what makes him so great. I mean, not just his skits, his stand-up, but his ability to, pick at the culture and make fun of it, of like identity politics.
Dave Chappelle is dark humor, and he always has been.
I don't know. He's just good at what he does.
Yeah, but I'm saying like his specialty is dark humor. That's why all of his stand-ups pretty much like what you're going to get when you watch Dave Chappelle. Even his last stand-up, like it wasn't as dark as I thought it would be. I was actually really shocked. I was like, whoa,
what do you mean like what was something like that you thought he was going to say, or like what was the last thing you remember like dark about it?
No, I think more about that stand-up. OJ. Boom.
OJ, what do you mean?
When he's talking about OJ, and he's like, the first time I met OJ, he did it. The second time I met OJ, like he kept going. And then he's like, by the last time, he's like, I definitely knew he did it. But that's a dark humor, right?
No,
because
that's
the
true,
OJ case, yeah, right. But I'm just saying, like OJ got off free, right? So that's what he's saying. He's like, yo, he definitely did that shit, and it's wild that our system didn't catch it. And that's kind of what Dave does. He brings light to these issues that nobody wants to talk about, and that is what made him the best at the time.
What he did in this last special with the trans
I have to watch
community. It's not even that long. I thought it was gonna be. It's only like 45, 50 minutes or something.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm thinking to myself like, oh, this is like clever, some clever art, commentary, and like puns and jokes and stuff. But none of it felt like oh, like damn, that was groundbreaking. Because there's some people who do some really good comedy, and they're really good at what they do. Dave Chappelle is good at like critiquing like the culture war, the culture war, the identity politics. And I don't know why the trans community is so like. One joke did get me. I thought it was pretty funny. It was like, it's hard for me to retell, but you gotta watch it. You'll know which one I'm talking about. When he says like, I unballed my fist, and I said, I will smack the hell out of you, bitch. You'll know when you see it.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, like they're just jokes. Take it easy. Take it easy.
Yeah, I mean, with like you said, right? Humor or good comedy is based on truths, and for me, I mean, I haven't seen it, but as you're talking about Dave's friend that committed suicide, and she was a trans woman, he's also talking about mental health there too. Like, he's not just talking about pure trans people, and that's the beauty of of Dave Chappelle's humor is that he's able to hit so many targets in one joke.
It could be.
But you have to, I'm not going to say you have to be smart enough to catch it. It's just more of, you have to pay attention to see what he's trying to do.
You might have to be a little savvy, a little bit witty. Like, I can understand people.
I also think you have to be,
fly over someone's head and it's not their fault. It's just like, I think you need to understand the context behind what he's saying. And like, I'm not saying you have to be super literate, but I mean literate enough to understand. Like, oh, I understand what he's saying there because I understand the truth behind it.
Yeah, right? Exactly. But you also have to. I always say, you only know what you know, and so if you've met someone or knew someone who did commit suicide, like. And you hear that trans joke at the beginning, you know, I haven't heard it, but I'm just saying, like, if you hear him talk about how they committed suicide, like, that's going to catch your attention because you're going to be like, whoa, okay, I know someone who's committed suicide. Where's he going with this, you know? And then as his punchline comes in, because he's so damn good at it, when his punchline comes in, you would probably feel some type of relief rather than, like, anger, because that's how you should heal, is through like humor, through comedy, by finding the silver lining in the situation. You know, anyone who's ever tried to commit suicide or has been in a 5150, I believe that's what it's called, 5150, yeah, you know, the only way that you get through those moments of being around people with mental health issues is being like, damn, I'm like fucked up in the head. You are too. Ha 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 ha. You know, because if not, like, you're going to be scared as shit. You're going to be like, dude, like, what the hell? Like, why am I here? You know, and there's a thing called trauma bonding, right? And
that's what everybody was doing when the pandemic started.
Exactly. And this is my point, right? Is when people trauma bond, like, you're able to find a silver lining with that, because you might meet some of your best friends through your trauma bonding, or you might meet your significant other. No, essentially it's not, but it's something that happens as humans. It's what we do. I mean, you look at addicts that go in and they think the other person's attractive in some type of way. They usually end up together because you're in the same situation as them. You can understand where they're coming from. It's also the reason that a lot of people will only surround themselves with people who have lived the same life as them or has gone through the same things as them, you know? And that's why in certain groups of friends, or when you meet a new person, you're not always welcomed right away because they don't know like who you are. You know, you're distant from that. But my belief is that you give everyone a chance and you create friends that way.
I don't know about that, bro. So I don't want to make friends with suicidal people, because the next thing
that's fine.
Because they're not going to be around long enough for us to be friends.
I think we should call it right there.
You see, because like, bro, like, it's all about the comedy. It's all about the tragedy of life, the self-narrative. Yes.
What do we always say? It's good to struggle.
I don't know, bro. We got it pretty easy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, compared to third world countries, compared to people who don't have homes, to people who have to, you know, bathe in a fountain or heating, like in a river. Yeah, 100% we have it easy.
Like, I saw this video about kids,
but don't
who go to
downplay
school.
your struggle at the same time. And that's one thing that annoys me the most, is when people try to tell you that you haven't struggled because you haven't been in this position, or they think you're lying about this or that, and you're just like,
there are some people who do.
There are people that are
who are, you know,
liars and are like that for sure. But don't judge someone based off of what they say if you don't know their story.
Yeah, that's the thing about being nicer to people, like the people who work in the hospitality, retail, food, healthcare. Like, go ahead, look it up. All the fucking worker strikes, you know, all over across the country.
Too damn many.
Yeah. God bless America.